Alrighty, another day, another makeup video. I'm not even going to call this one a tutorial though, only because we both have no idea what we're doing. So for those who may not know, which is probably most of you, this is Lexi. She is my best friend of 20 years. We've known each other since we were three, like, or four, and went to dance together. And she's been wanting to do this porcelain doll makeup look, inspired by the Mason, I can never say his last name, Margiela. There she is. There she is. Maison Margiela fashion show where Pat McGrath did the editorial makeup with the like glossy sheen that everybody went wild for in this community. And I literally transcended out of my body when I saw it because I was like, I need that on my face. So now we're attempting it. Minor disclaimer, I already had makeup on from a girl's day out with me and my mom. This was filmed like after a show and then dinner and blah blah blah. So I didn't feel like taking off my makeup, so I just built on top of it. So later in the video, that's why my eyebrows don't really work out when I try to block them out because there were already oils in there and I did not do it properly. I am aware, again, why I'm not calling this a tutorial. So yeah. And then Lexi's just kind of doing her own thing, which we're just, embracing. Because there are no rules to makeup. And who am I to say that she's doing it wrong or that anybody watching is saying that she's doing it wrong or I'm doing it wrong? Who knows? Nobody makes the rules to this, so. Now, accurately, I don't think either of us did accurately to, like, Pat McGrath in her explanation for the makeup. But that's okay. Again, this is kind of just for fun. This was like a girls' night. Just have fun, do whatever. No pressure. There's not really like an audience involved as far as, going to a convention or going out in public. Except for like my dad, who had walked in on us and was very confused at the end. But I cut him out so you guys won't see it. I will say one of my life's goals is to actually block out Lexi's eyebrows because she's got the most beautiful caterpillar but thick and well-shaped eyebrows. And I love that they're actually kind of different on either side. Definitely sisters, not twins, but I love that. But I want to try and block them out. So here, I already built up my base, and now I'm building the blush that I want. So I'm using my two face paints in orange and then a warm tone, or I guess it was like a more gold color, gold orange, and then a warm tone red, and I'm mixing them together. I'm really smearing it in the brush. That way there's no like weird blotchiness. It's just all blended in there and warmed up. And I'm applying it. Excuse me. Now, I didn't want to smear it because otherwise I'm afraid of streaks. Even though I've had really good experiences with this face paint, I'm a tapper, not a smearer. And I'm doing the other side. And this is not set up in my room. This is set up in our sunroom, my family sunroom, actually. Just because there was a huge table already out and there was more practical room for me and Lexi. So, hence why you see the bread maker and my teapot in the back. And then here I am putting concealer on my lips while my eyebrows kind of dry out. Because I'm about to put pencil on top of, or atop of my eyebrows, not like on top. And I wanted to block out my lips, mostly because the color they've been recently, because of my hormones. I'm about to get my time of the month. My hormones was causing my lip color to be all kind of whack. So I wanted to block them out completely and then start fresh and just center that color on the center of my lips, I was going to say. But you know what I mean. Putting color only on the center of my lips. And then it was a little too cool tone for my taste, so I was warming it up with some orange just to kind of marry the blush and the lips together. That way the color story kind of is, making sense throughout. Now, one thing about me, I love orange and green together, orange and teal, or dark green, like an emerald color. I love them two colors together. My boyfriend and I are looking at getting a house, and I know, according to my Pinterest boards, that that's going to be kind of a common color combination throughout. I don't know, something about it's just like cheerful but not overblown when done correctly. So, I don't know, maybe that's what inspired this look to have this color story. Now, a lot of my reference here was Gwendolyn Christie's look specifically, and how it was placed on her, and there was no like sparkles on her lip. It was not neutral, obviously. There was powder blue on her eyes, but beyond that, it was a very light and airy feel and look. So I put on my eyebrows, made them pencil thin. They look textured because of the glue that's on my eyebrows. Again, they didn't really work out this time, which is okay. However, I used a really creamy pencil, so I was going over it with a black matte powder, whether it be eyeshadow or whatever you have, pop off. Just because when I put the face mask over top of it, I don't want it to smear and then spread or bleed or anything. So I'm just stamping that in using a very, very thin brush. The spare glue. And then I had the She Glam palette that I started going with. I think it's She Glam. If not, I'll link it below. Starting going with this like mint green, sage green. It's like a dark mint green. It's not pastel-y enough. It's got more of like a seafoam color in it, I suppose. And I'm stamping that in because I don't want to smear my eyebrows, especially when they have... Sorry, that was my chair. Especially when they have glue and other texture in them. So stamp, tap, tap, tap. And I am bringing that quite close to my nose. More so than I normally would, probably, if I had like a crease color that I wanted to blend in my nose contour. Again, this is kind of following Gwendolyn Christie's look, and she seemed to have similar placement, so that's what it followed. And then I'm adding a dark color here, just for the base of the sparkles that I'm about to put on. It's kind of like a navy color. I didn't want to go with black because I know that's too harsh with my skin type, or my skin tone rather, and my features. But I knew I wanted a darker color just so that that glitter / sparkle, shimmer, whatever the heck you want to call it, popped. It's Lexi judging me and laughing. Nothing new here. I'm just kidding. Pressing down my eyebrows. Again, I didn't have the normal tools I have, and I was too lazy to go upstairs and get them from my room. So we're making do with what the tools we had down here already were. And I'm going in with a dark shimmer. Dark grip. Sorry. A darker, also more navy, got a little bit of green in it, shimmer. And then I'm using my finger because I want it to be quite messy and unblended. And I brought that up. I'm just cleaning it up as I go, trying to keep within kind of like the lines that are established between the outer corner of my eye and the eyebrow, and then just dragging that up. Lexi once again, just taking a look, taking a gander. Okay, now the reason I started with blush in the beginning is because I wanted to know how dark I could go with my eyes without making it look crazy, and how much I should balance it out after the fact. Because you can always put on more, but you can't take off, you know? So I had my blush that I created, the little face paint, and kind of went back and forth and leveled them out as far as saturation and weight on the face, like the placement. I love this part. This is like an emerald green shimmer that I have. You can see me say yes. I love this color. I wish I had more reasons to go out like at night where I could wear it and not look crazy. But you can wear it in subtle ways, I suppose, but I digress. I live. And I did bring it up into my crease. I have a hooded eyelid, so I have to anyway if I want anything to be seen. But especially in this look, just because it's more messy, at least what I was doing. Again, adding blush, because I thought it just wasn't like heavy enough in terms of how this look is quote unquote supposed to look, you know. Or I guess what I had in mind. And I did bring it up to my temples just to make my face look a little bit more round and a little bit more wide versus long, because I have a longer face, I think, personally. More oblong. And then I already had mascara on, but I got this black mascara that I put on because it looked like the models didn't have like falsies. It was just a good coat of mascara. Now, mind you, I have not set my face yet. All this is wet. And the reason I did that was so that I could go back in. If I made a mistake with the blush, I could go and, you know, cover it up or blend it more or whatever without having to worry about it becoming patchy because there's powder or whatever. I always say I can never get Botox in my forehead, otherwise I'd never be able to put on mascara because hooded eyelids just cover up everything. And I'm taking some cushion foundation, kind of going around the edges. And you can see that brightness right where the blush stopped kind of blended in very well. I use the Misha foundation. Now I know it's a lot lighter shades and they're not super inclusive. However, as a yellow undertone girly, I live and swear by this. A pale yellow undertone girly at that. I really like their products. And it has SPF in it, so in the summer, that's always nice. Now I'm setting the heck out of everything, which I think actually might be where perhaps I made a mistake. Maybe it should have stayed wet. If I were to ever try it again, which I probably won't, you know, just for fun, I would not powder necessarily. Only because I think that dried out the base. And then this water and cucumber mask mix that I got from Five Below at that, I think it caused it to separate or to drag or something. Because if you looked up close, you could see it. However, far away, it still looked soft enough that you couldn't really tell. Lexi being dramatic. I had music playing, otherwise I would give you the ASMR that she just did. However, I'm worried that it's copyrighted. She cracks me up. She doesn't emote very much. That's why she's like dead face in this, but That's just how Lexi is. Once you get to know her, she's like one of the funniest people ever. Now, I did brush away the excess bake before doing this mask, and I patch tested it, not test patched it, in one area near my jaw. That's what you saw like a minute ago, and I let that dry to see what happened, to see if it was too watery, if it was too thick, and it seemed just about right. Now, I did get really scared that that it was actually like kind of curdling, not to be gross, but it would, in the process of drying, it wouldn't be flat. It would kind of have not bubbles but bumps, and then they would kind of go down. So, yeah. So yeah, go ahead and enjoy this time lapse of us applying layer by layer by layer. Lexi getting impatient, just like squirting it all over her face, and then literally having to use my exercise fan to let it dry, which I believe was off camera. I think my other phone died while we were filming. And at the end, you will see the final look. So enjoy. At the end here, I'm just peeling my makeup off, which honestly, very satisfying. Kind of wish I could do. And that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful day or night.